Thanks to Bandai Namco Toys and Collectibles America for sending this little birdie along. Check them out in the card that's going to pop up in the description below and links to buy as well.
Kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews.
Hello there, collectors. This is going to be Steven here, and I'm back with another Godzilla Singular Point review. And it's not going to be Anguirus, but it's going to be Rodan of the second form, and we actually get a flock here. Keep that in mind, because we're going to see something amazing a little bit later in the video. So, we have another Rodan in the lineup. Yay! It's a brown Rodan, but it's not the brown Heisei Rodan. Bandai, can you please get on that? Thank you so much. Anyway, now that we have the third entry in the Singular Point series in the SH MonsterArts lineup, oh, this is really, really cool, because this is going to be one of Toho's big five, and this is definitely a controversial design. Not many folks really like all of the new and edgy and wacky designs that came about with Singular Points. Hello, Salunga, that's actually Gabara. But we do have another option here, and it is Army Builder Fodder. At about $55 or so at US MSRP, is this one going to be worth the purchase, or maybe you should just go ahead and skip on over it? Well, let's take a look to see whether or not it's going to be worth adding into your collection. And guess what? I kind of sold myself. Let's get to it. All right, so for looks-wise, not only can I verify that this Rodan does look rather rock solid, I'm hinting at something you will see a bit later. I can verify from some other sources as well. This Rodan does have rather solid quality control, which is sort of at the same time, well, a no full-in kind of statement, but also rather surprising. Reason being is that Rodan is going to be a smaller figure. Obviously, we will see that in the size comparison section, but likewise with a smaller canvas, it's rather difficult to get everything looking rather nice and clean. Thankfully, the teeth application is going to be fine. I'm not really seeing any issues with the eyes. We do have spikes that are going to be on the underside of the torso. We do have the tampograph, the decal, whatever the technical term may be, on the back of the wings on Rodan's back proper. We do have some small red paint applications here or there. I mean, honestly, I don't really know what else to say aside from the quality control from not only this particular unit, but others that I have seen and have been told about. Rodan looks just fine. Rodan's articulation is pretty creative. It's rather fun, and I think the wings, considering the design, do lend itself well to this design overall of Rodan. I'll go ahead and say design one more time before we really get started. So what do we have? Well, the jaw is going to be seemingly on a hinge, but I think it's going to be more so on a ball joint. Now, just not putting in any effort, that's about how far the mouth will open. However, if you do push a little bit, you are able to get it to open up much, much wider. Now, you will note in some shots, it looks like the jaw is not going to be straightly aligned, at least the bottom portion of the mouth. You go and close that. That is because it does seem to be on a ball joint, and you can get them to go a little slack jaw, so you can kind of sort of get that. Mine likes to, for whatever reason, naturally go off to the right-hand side there, but it's easy to fix. We have a few ball joints for the head-neck system, so we can get Rodan to look down about that far just with the head, look up about that far, and looking from side to side is going to be no issue. Let's continue on with the body before we get on over to the wings, which are going to be on ball joints, so I'll go ahead and spoil that for you right now and twist out of the way. This Rodan is actually going to feature a ball joint in the torso, an ab crunch if you will, but it's more so just going to be for putting the lower portion of the body back. And then we have that one dorsal fin, which does fall into itself, which is really nice looking. You can see there. Do we have any other? Oh, we do. Look at that. We have an ab crunch and a waist joint. We don't really getting any tilt motion out of that. No tilt motion, but it is there for rocking side to side, up and down. So it is good to see there. So no spinning, if you will. Hips, we do have ball joints here, so you can spin them around along with a thigh swivel or a ball joint there, and they move about that far forward. Not going to lie, this does feel like I'm stressing it a bit, so you can do that. You can also push the legs back, so this way Rodan can soar in the air. And then we do have toe hinges. Very, very cool. If there's any other articulation in the leg, I can't really see that too much. Now, for the wings, this is going to be the star of the show here. We do have this piece of sculpt, which I think is just an effective sleeve to cover up the ball joints for the wings, which I do believe is going to be a barbell style or double axis ball joint. And in terms of flapping, we can get Rodan to push his wings forward just like that, no issues. In terms of going up though, you are going to have to play with the other joints of the body to make it look like Rodan is going to be flapping his wings upward. But nevertheless, they are there. You can also tilt the wings as you would please. This sculpt does float rather freely, but it does move well enough with the wings. Hands are going to be on ball joints, so they do have a little bit of tilt, but they do mainly just swivel around. At least mine tilt. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be the case. Now, the segmented wings, similar to Destoroyah, they are going to be ball joints as well. However, the way that they're cut helps guide how they move. So you are going to be able to fold the wing in, and you're going to be able to turn it and twist it just a little bit. The whole point of this, rather, is to have Rodan fold the wing down and then move this up like that. So this way you can get Rodan into a walking pose, which is very cool. Just like that. So that is how that is achieved. There you go. Pretty neat. So for articulation, Rodan does move rather nicely. No real issues, I would say. I have to say that this is good MonsterArts quality right here. Very, very nice. Just remember some small details, and Rodan will move like butter. That's to say he moves smooth. Bad joke. Accessories time, and let's go ahead and get right on into it. So Rodan is going to come with a support base, a support stand, and cradle for Rodan. And then we're also going to get 2 sets of 4 small Rodans on bendy wires. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I'm actually under the impression that all of the mini Rodans share the exact same sculpt, though for some reason at times when they hit the lens a bit different, they seem to have minute differences, but honestly it's just minuscule. It doesn't matter. They are on bendy wire, which do plug into the support base that we get. It's just going to be the general Tamashii Stage Act 4 support base or whatever it may be. So that is going to be fine. Now, something of note, they are on the bendy wire, which it wasn't necessarily communicated in the promotional material that they would be stuck on there right out of the box, which is fine. The only thing to keep in mind is that though you can remove them, it is not advisable because you're not really going to be able to get them back on. I tried since this was a review sample. Now, for the support stand and cradle for the big Rodan, it's going to be one solid stand piece that plugs into that little base. And then there is going to be that cradle. Keep in mind here how to use the cradle. This is going to be the correct way per the instructions and also per the sculpt on the cradle. And yeah, I'm going to cop to it. I used it incorrectly in some of the action shots in this review, just because I needed to do that for the pictures. That's what it called for. And on that note, I'm a professional. No, I just know what I'm doing, so I can kind of get away with that for quick shots. And it's rather fine. There's going to be one ball-jointed point of articulation, and that's going to be it. So here's going to be a 360 spin view for you, so this way you can see exactly how everything falls together, which looks rather nice. The only thing that I could say is maybe if we could have gotten a more modular support stand for Rodan, and then also we get a total of 8 small ones. Can't make it a nice 10? I think that would have been pretty cool. But anyway, if you're doing other stands or effect parts, I got videos to help you out. And also something of note, as you'll see in the action shots, you can plug the support stand and the mini Rodan base into some of the different Tamashii Nations buildings that are on the market. Now, like I made mention at the top, this definitely fits the build for an army builder, right? So, what might it look like if you get 2 of them? I don't know. I got another one in the mail. We'll see you soon. What happens if you get 3, 5, or how about 11? Yeah, so Godzilla 154 here is totaling out at 14 of them. But here's a singular point shelf. Yeah, thanks for helping out on this one. And that's rather impressive. Has some neat effect parts going on here. Yeah, so this is definitely an affordable option and an army builder option. So if you're thinking about getting quite a few of them and making a nice display, well, guess what? This is going to be a rather great option to do that. I don't know, maybe I'll get more than 2 now. Yeah. All right, size comparison. Rodan is going to be standing, which he could do with relatively no issue. Just make sure that he's balanced well. I've shook my table, didn't fall over. So here's going to be the wingspan along with overall height. And as you can see, Rodan is a nice size. But singular point, they kind of change size. So what is correct scale? That's up to you. Buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. $55, rather solid package, but here's going to be the interesting thing. This one is actually going to be a bit more than the original release of the Fire Rodan MonsterArts from nearly a decade ago, and that one came with a whole bunch of different effect parts, so it's very interesting to see how the market has changed over the years. But with that being said, this is a rather nice entry in the SH MonsterArts lineup. Of note, this is going to be a premium Bandai release, which means it's going to have one production run and done. Thankfully, the folks at Bandai Collect were able to bring this over to US retail for distribution distribution, so you shouldn't have an issue as long as you purchase it in a timely fashion. So if you're thinking about picking this up, do it sooner rather than later, so this way they don't leave the market and you can never buy one or get one at an affordable price.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for STR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.